morning. So my name is Mallory Brown, but you can call me Travel Mal. It is my nickname. It's also the name of my business. And it's my nickname because I travel a lot.
Ethiopia.
We love you. So I wanted to kick off this morning taking you guys on a little journey to Ethiopia. Ethiopia is one of my favorite countries in the world. It is this little paradise in the middle of the mountains of Africa, and it's an entirely unique place. Ethiopia has its own culture. It has its own language, its own religion, its own traditional dress. It has its own food. Anyone had Ethiopian food before? All right, a few of you. It's very unique. It even has its own calendar. Currently in Ethiopia, it is the year 2010, not the year 2017. Very bizarre, don't ask me to explain it, but it does. I love Ethiopia so much that I wanted to celebrate my 30th birthday there. So last year I turned 30, and I thought I should probably do something really big to celebrate. I am a social entrepreneur and a global humanitarian. I run my own production company called Travel Mal, where I tell stories of charity all around the world. My goal is to show what real everyday life looks like for someone living in poverty and provide ways for people that are watching to directly help them. I thought if I'm going to Ethiopia to do something really cool for my 30th birthday, I need an amazing partner. So I reached out to my friend Melanie, who runs a nonprofit based in Michigan. It's called Begin With One. And Begin With One works in a very small remote village in southern Ethiopia. This village is called Chapa, and it's incredibly impoverished. The people of Chapa live off the grid. There's very little economy there. They pretty much survive off of the land. They build their homes from things they find in the forest. They hunt and gather their food. It's incredibly impoverished. And I asked my friend Melanie, what do you need in Chapa? And she said they really wanted to start a women's program. The women had been begging for jobs. They wanted to be able to have an income so that they can provide for their family and give a better life to their children. This is a photo of one of the women in Chapa, Ethiopia. So we came up with an amazing plan. For my 30th birthday, I wanted to raise $30,000 to help 30 women from Chapa, Ethiopia, start working. Now, the women of Chapa, there's no jobs really available for them to take. There isn't a factory that is hiring. So they would be starting their own businesses. As a female entrepreneur and someone who works for myself, I loved the idea of empowering women to work and create something from nothing. I've gone through that path myself, and so I thought this was the perfect project. So I partnered with CrowdRise, and I flew to Ethiopia, and I filmed the story of these women and published a CrowdRise fundraiser on my 30th birthday. We ended up raising over $42,000 in one day to help the women of Chapa. Thank you. Thank you. This is a photo of me on my birthday with all of the women that we were helping. They made me a little birthday cake. Not traditional Ethiopian food, but they tried really hard to make it an American cake. It's very cute. So my birthday was an incredible success. It was honestly the best birthday I could have asked for. And I learned a lot in this campaign, in all the campaigns that I do. And I know that most of you sitting in the audience today, you have incredible initiatives that you're trying to start. You have these big dreams of things that you want to do to improve the world. So I'd like to share with you 3 pieces of advice that I can give that greatly led to the success of my fundraiser and can lead to the success of the initiatives that you're trying to run. So the first is to tell a story. In today's day, we are bombarded with information. You wake up in the morning and you can get your news from 7 different places. You can see on Instagram what all of your coworkers had for breakfast. You open your email and there's just constant information. And so when you're trying to start something and grab someone's attention and hold someone's attention, you have to tell a story. Stories allow you to wrap up all of the questions someone might have in a really compelling way. You answer what you want to do, why you want to do it, why do you care about this, why should I care about this? All of that is told in a very human, in a very real way that pulls on people's emotions. If you're trying to start something for charity or something that does good in the world, you have to pull on people's heartstrings. And stories are the best way to do that. I can guarantee you that the morning of my birthday, not a single one of my donors woke up that morning thinking, I think I want to help a woman in Ethiopia today. I mean, it didn't happen. Most people can't even pick out Ethiopia on a map. It was my dream to help the women in Ethiopia, but I told a really compelling story, one that grabbed everyone's attention and said, these are these women. This is what they look like. This is what it feels like. This is how the village is. This is how you can help. And all of those people donated. $42,000 in one day. That is a lot of money. So I want to show you just a quick summary of what my story looked like. I use video to tell stories. You can watch the full video on my website, travelmail.com, but this is just a little snippet so you can see how I tell stories. I published a CrowdRise fundraiser to raise $30,000 in 24 hours to provide 30 jobs. It's fundraiser day. The donations are coming in. I'm so excited. We're about to tell the women that they can start working today. Hey, I just want to say thank you so much for donating. I'm here with the women, and we're about to start their businesses. And we surpassed our $30,000 goal. Thank you so much for donating to help these 30 women. Their new jobs will provide a sustainable source of income, which will empower them to truly transform their lives. Best birthday ever. Let's keep the applause going. Thank you. So number 1 is to tell a story. Number 2, ask for help. So many people want to help, and they don't know how. And often as the person trying to provide the help, as being the facilitator, we actually forget to ask. You've got to tell a story, and then you have to directly ask for help. Now, in my fundraiser, there's an obvious call to action. I said, please donate. You ask for help. But there was another ask that was more hidden. This is behind the scenes of how the fundraiser actually worked. And I want to share that ask to you. So I wanted to raise $30,000. I had never done that before. I mean, that's a lot of money. And I knew I couldn't do it alone. So I asked 30 of my friends here in the US to sign up to help me fundraise. I said, please start a fundraiser on my birthday and pledge that you will crowdfund $500. So these 30 women, they all signed up. So I matched them with one of the Ethiopian women. So my friend Diana, she sponsored this Ethiopian woman, Wade. And my friend Aylin down in the corner, she sponsored this Ethiopian woman, Burka. And so all of my 30 friends on the day of my fundraiser, they activated too. And they activated their audiences. They got their friends to donate. And the goal was $500 for each of them. And as you can see, a lot of them surpassed their goal. Now, if all 30 of these women had crowdfunded $500 each, that adds up to $15,000 that my network was doing. So when I went to go ask all of my friends to do this, I was kind of nervous because people don't like to do things for their own birthday, and I was asking them to crowdfund on my birthday. It was like, hey, on this day to celebrate me, and by the way, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in a different country, but will you rally all of your friends to help? I mean, it's kind of a weird ask, but I asked. And I got overwhelming yeses People really, really want to help, and they don't know how. So if you can lay it out for them, if you can tell a really compelling story about why they should do it, and you ask them to help, they will say yes. The last piece of advice I can give you is to be bold. Often in life, we play it so safe. We set goals that we know we can accomplish. But you need to take a risk in life. You can't get to the top of the mountain if you never actually start climbing to the top of the mountain. And no one can catch you if you fall, if you're not standing from a place that you can fall from. So often we wake up, we do our thing, we eat something, and we go to bed. And then we wake up, and we do our thing, and we eat something, and we go to bed. And if you do this 7 days a week, and then you do that 12 months a year, years end up passing, and you're in the same place. You need to start setting goals that scare you. I had no idea how I was going to raise $30,000 when I first agreed to do this. I had agreed to do my fundraiser 6 months before my birthday. And at that moment, $30,000 was terrifying to me. How am I going to raise this? But I ended up raising $42,000. That's because I set my goals high. I told a really, 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 really compelling story, and I asked people to help. If you can do those three things, if you can tell your story, you ask people to help, and you are so bold that you're scaring yourself, you will accomplish wonders in life. There's a photo of me celebrating with all of the women. I hope that this can help you guys in your pursuits. I want to end this saying my favorite word in Ethiopian. It is the word thank you, and it's amasaganalu. Thank you.